Welcome, everyone. I'm Coach Wolverine. Today, we're going to be talking with Alina again for the final episode of this, in particular, section of information that we are dealing with all of the chakras. So, Alina, as always, please take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to connect with all of you in another brand new episode. And in this episode, we are going to talk about 10 uncommon signs of crown chakra imbalance and how to heal them. So when someone's crown chakra is positively active, they will be intelligent, they will have multitasking ability, they will have a lot of creativity, they will be innovative, and they will be a quick learner. And when someone's crown chakra is negatively activated or underactivated, they will have weak memory, mental illness, headache, neurological disorders, and weak immunity. So let's try to talk about what will happen when someone's crown chakra is positively overactivated. So these people, they are extremely intelligent, more than other normal people. They have their IQ more than average people. So you will see them, these people are the best student in the class. And not only that, they could be the best student to get the gold medal, to get a scholarship. Probably they are the best student in the entire city or the entire country in a particular board exam. They will do very well in terms of competitive exams. They are very good in mathematics and calculations, instant calculation. And you'll see these people be going to these fields of medical science, research, architecture, engineering, biochemist, all these kind of fields that requires a lot of learning and retention of information, useful information. So these people would be very good researcher, PhD holders, very good scientists, and I mean, all in all, I can say the intelligent people.
Gotcha.
Okay, so here we can see some famous examples of positively overactivated crown chakra. First, we have, who is this man?
Is that Tesla?
Definitely. And what is he known for?
Oh, a lot of different things. The first thing that comes to my mind is the 369 theory.
Definitely. And I think he came up with the idea of free energy. He also came up with the idea that everything in this universe is energy, frequency, and vibration.
Right.
Okay, so this man was extremely brilliant, and but I guess for some reason, because of politics and other reasons, he just could not get enough of recognition that he deserves. But still, he has, I mean, his contribution to this entire humankind is great. I mean, I wonder what would have happened to human civilization, to our civilization, if we had the free energy by now.
I think that's why he didn't get further than he did, was because his concepts were terrifying to the rest of society. Because if a lot of his inventions or his theories came forward, the people who have placed themselves in power in the world would not be in the same power that they're at, because renewable energy would not be it wouldn't be a currency, it wouldn't be circulating, there'd be no money in it.
Definitely. Okay, so the next man we have is Newton.
Right.
He came up with the idea of gravity, like the apple fell on his head and then he got the idea of gravity. He also came up with calculus. He was a very good mathematician and physician. And the next person we have is
Einstein.
you guessed that. Definitely. Einstein. So Again, he was genius, he was a scientist, and, and then we have our modern world genius, that's Bill Gates.
Yep.
He's famous for Microsoft, and he's also famous for his other things like depopulation and some conspiracy theories and stuff, but we don't want to talk about that right now. We want to talk about all the good things that he has done. So definitely it takes, although there's a little bit of conspiracy that the Microsoft, I mean, that kind of operation system was developed by someone else, and he had bought it from that person. And what he did was he marketed that in a way that it became a globally accepted operation system in the entire world.
Yep.
Okay, and next we have our very famous and handsome Elon Musk.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
so
a
he's
big name today, that's for sure.
definitely, his projects are amazing, and you see that him being innovative, him being intelligent, smart, good looking. He has multiple projects going on. He's a very good marketer as well. He knows how to market himself.
Yep.
You know, like a person needs to, I mean, this combination of all these things, like his scientific way of thinking, his research ability, his ability to work with huge number of people, and their ability to influence them as well, it is great. I mean, you need to be creative, innovative, and also you have to know the market section of that as well.
Yeah.
The next we have is Steve Jobs.
Yep.
What was he famous for?
The iPhone.
Okay, so the thing is that when he came out with this, everyone in the world was rebuking him that, are you nuts? Who is going to buy this expensive phone? Who is going to, it is so different. I mean, the operating system is so different. It doesn't have any button. It doesn't look like a typical phone, but he is like, no, man, it's unique. That's the reason why people will accept it. He had a vision, a very good futuristic vision, and he made it happen.
Yep.
One more thing is that you'll see these people like social scientists, good economists, they can predict the future, like what the world will be like after 100 years. So these people, positively overactivated crown chakra people, they have a lot of like futuristic vision.
So would having a positively overactive crown chakra help a person to recognize patterns in the world and in society?
Yes.
So that's how I think that's where a lot of these people get that futuristic or being able to tell the future, is because they can see patterns and see the trending pattern and be able to kind of place a very educated guess what's going to happen moving forward, which is cool and scary at the same time when we go back to conversations that Elon Musk has had about not playing with AI, and here we are today playing with AI. Because well, I don't necessarily agree with all of it. I As soon as we started coming out with this AI stuff, even before Elon Musk made the comments of like, don't play with it because it's very dangerous, my first thought was like the movie I Am Legend. No, I Robot, sorry. And surrogates and stuff like that, where yeah, the robots are going to take over.
Well, there are timelines where you understand, like spiritually, there are so many timelines, right?
Yeah.
And there are timelines where the world is being taken up by the gray ETs, the negative ETs, where the world is being destroyed by the nuclear war, where the another one we have that's where um is being invaded by negative ETs and AI be taking control over the human beings. And there are other positive timelines as well, where we human beings, we evolve naturally and very organically without any kind of, um, what can I say, like combination of technologies, right? I
Okay.
mean, very naturally, organically, because I think you have heard this idea that some gray ETs are trying to do the hybrid program with human beings, um, to to make a different race, or to, because their planet was destroyed by nuclear war, and so they want to take the human gene and to continue their species.
Yeah, I've
But
heard.
again, there are so many timelines, but I think it depends on what timeline that you want to be in. And I think you would end up in a timeline that will resonate with your vibrancy and frequency.
Right.
So don't worry about what is happening, the AI taking over the world, or
uh it's an interesting concept in my brain. I find it quite fascinating because we as humans, like when I look out, humans love to try and play God. And so they're doing all of these things to try and gain control over aspects of life and over aspects of civilization. And it's just like there's been so many movies made about this that show that it's a bad idea, yet we still do it.
well, I guess there are timelines where the AI, the ETs, and we are just combined and operate in a symbiotic way, in a positive way, where we don't harm each other in any way. And I think there are timelines that way. I guess so.
Right.
By the way, the Hollywood is not showing that. I wonder why they want to just inflict that fear within us. Like, you know, I don't know why. I mean, this is one of the reasons. Like, I used to be super into sci-fi movies, but for a reason, I stopped watching them because they've been trying to inflict a particular kind of message. I mean, why don't they show positive things? I mean, ET contact and human contact has been with us since the beginning of human history. There's been ETs who taught us many things like technology and mathematics and so many things, but there have also been ETs that have been quite negative towards us. But I think the Hollywood only shows us the negative things. Try to see positive things too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is true. Well, and that's we could open up a conversation about like star seeds and stuff like that too. But I think Hollywood does that intentionally because society is controlled by the fear of fear itself. When we're afraid of something, we often will are more likely to do what we're told to do by these people that have placed themselves in power.
Definitely, because they want us to shift towards a timeline where they can drag us there and control us with fear.
Yeah.
I ain't going there, so I ain't watching that. All right, so another beautiful thing that don't you see that people are talking about is spiritual knowledge and wisdom up front, like openly that way, like the knowledge that was held a secret from us for so many years. And now it's like coming up when you know the power of the subconscious brain and the thoughts create reality and all of these things, your ability to heal out yourself. And this is the beautiful thing that I'm also doing because I want to be a part of the world where people are not dependent on the doctors, but people are dependent on their own ability to heal themselves.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So the next we are going to talk about when our crown chakra is negatively overactivated, what happens? So these people would have extreme level of mood disorders. They will have extreme level of sleep disorders. Either they will sleep too much or they will be sleep deprived. And even when they will wake up from the sleep, they will not feel rejuvenated enough because the pineal gland is dysfunctional. It is producing the sleep hormone in a very imbalanced way. The next we have is these people would have CPTSD, PPD, ADHD, or other mood dysregulation and other neurological disorders as well. These people would have forgetfulness forgetfulness. It will be a lot of trouble for them to remember important information. They will forget about the target deadlines. They will, when you will give them a lot of instruction, they will feel very overwhelmed to retain that information and to act on it.
That makes sense.
Okay, so next we have is when our crown chakra is positively underactivated. So these people would be average student because their brain is not so active. So even though they try to learn a lot, their brain just cannot process that information or retain that information properly. It could happen for many reasons. It could happen because they get distracted very easily, or they just don't know how to use their brain properly. They also don't know, probably they just don't pay attention to the important things, like what is important to remember and what is not. They are indulged in video games, but they're not attention focused in terms of their education. Probably they have some short-term and long-term memory problems as well. So for whatever reason, they just become very average student and they will be the average performer in the office. These people are extremely forgetful. They have weak memory. They have trouble focusing, and it's difficult for them to remember things. They have memory loss as well. But the positive side of this is they stay out of stress. They don't care about anything in the world, how to remember the important things, how to do the important things. They just rely on the other family members to do things for them, and they just enjoy a good life without any stress.
They just coast.
Yeah. Next we have is when our crown chakra is negatively underactivated. So these people they live a very miserable life and they fail in exams. It's difficult for them to show up on interviews because they'll be asked questions, and no matter how much of preparation that they have, it will be difficult for them to retrieve information from their brain and to say that. They will get nervous, and in terms of like exams, driving test, this kind of things, during emergency situation, they will just out of the memory, like, okay, what to do, just at a loss, what to do. So these people would also have weak immunity, because the thing is that our crown chakra helps us to connect with the source. So our crown chakra helps us to receive the life force energy in abundance and spreads that free key energy in our whole body. Just imagine the tube light in your house is connected to electricity, and electricity is again connected to I think every city have a factory, an electricity generator hub. With that center, every house is connected, right? They get the electricity connection from there. What happens when there will be a disruption in there? You won't get the electricity, right?
Right.
Okay. So this is exactly what happens because the crown chakra is blocked up. They can't channel that life force energy from the source properly. That is the reason why no matter how much they eat, how much they take rest, they always feel very weak. The next we have is mental illness. These people would be quite a patient of autism or Parkinson, Alzheimer's, amnesia, all these central nervous system related diseases that has to do with memory.
Okay, that makes sense.
And next we have is how to heal your crown chakra with energy healing. Okay, apart from energy healing, there are some other ways that you can try to work on your crown chakra is by creative video games. So I think there are video games that are quite violent, and I don't really suggest them, but I think there are video games that are especially designed to increase your brain's cognitive section and parts of your section, like how to pay attention to a certain thing, how to take a decision very quickly. So these kind of video games are very, very useful.
There's a lot of
The next,
video games where like they're problem solving video games too.
right. Okay, next we have is to do problem solving tasks, because a lot of the time it happens that people who have Parkinson or Alzheimer's or been like suffering from amnesia, or they have autism, if you give them problem solving tasks, they can do it. And there's a way to train up those brains. And these people are, it's not that they're unable to do something, but their brain is different. They're differently able. So there are neurodivergent people out there in the world. So if you understand psychology, the psychologists, they come up with interesting video games or problem solving tasks to help these people. I mean, how to do driving, how to do the dishwashing, how to do a particular task when you're out there on the road. I mean, how to teach them these things concerning the way that how the brain picks up information and retrieves information during a situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then other thing that they can do is brainstorm. The more that you think, the more that you ask yourself critical questions, the more your brain gets activated. Because Einstein was known for, I think, he had used 13% of his brain, right? And the rest of us, see, our brain is active, but not active to its fullest potential, right? Because imagine like an athlete, when that person runs, his body is more active than most other ordinary people, because we have our hands and legs, but we don't move in a way that an athlete does. I mean, he knows how to breathe, he knows how to walk and run and do everything. I mean, uh, the cells of the body and the brain and everything is more active than us ordinary people. So the more you use your brain, the more it becomes active.
Mm-hmm.
The next we have is therapy and brain exercise, because if you see some child is developing, showing the signs of autism, I mean, there are therapies to help them do schooling, homework, and all of these things. It's just that you need to come up with a creative idea to help them retain information.
Makes sense.
Next, we have our spiritual ways of healing our crown chakra. We have our crystals. So tell me, what is your favorite crystal?
Amethyst and moonstone.
Amethyst is my all-time favorite. So next we have is affirmation. Practice your affirmation every day. Next we have energy healing.
Would I be able to buy like secondhand tarot cards or crystals and gemstones?
Well, you can. Who is stopping you from doing that?
Would there be any like negative energies that are still tied to them though?
It could be. So let me explain that to you a little bit.
Okay.
You can buy the second-hand tarot cards, not a problem, because tarot cards are quite easily, I mean, it's easy to clean them, right?
Right.
But what I would suggest about the crystals is it's better not to buy the second-hand crystals, because you don't know who had used it and for what purpose, right? So they could accumulate a lot of negative energy. And if you are not a kind of a person who is very much good in terms of doing the cleansing work, then you should just refrain from it.
Okay. What about receiving a crystal from somebody? I've had a few situations actually where either another business owner or somebody else who's spiritual will give me a crystal and be like, "Hey, I was thinking of you," and then they pass me a crystal.
It was a gift, right?
Yeah.
But it was never been used by any other one, right?
Not to my knowledge, anyways. I know like my one Reiki practitioner, she has like a bowl of crystals that she's either accumulated or if they've fallen out of pockets or whatever. And I know she'll cleanse them and she'll either hold them for people to come back for them, or if they just never ever come back, if she feels compelled to give it to somebody after it's been cleansed, then she'll give it to somebody.
All right. The thing is that because you know these people are not unknown to you, right? So they have your good intention.
Okay.
So so you know that okay, it's safe for me to buy crystals for them from them and to take crystals from them, even as a gift. So you can do that. But I think if it comes from an unknown person who's trying to hand you secondhand crystals, better not take that. I mean, you would want to be sure about because at times it happens. But me, that I had charged a crystal for myself and it worked for a while, but is at a point it started to give me such headache because we all have blockages in our system. We are never immune to that. The kind of world that we live in and everything that we see, it has started to uh, definitely clear out those blockages inside of my system. And every time that I came across this crystal, it just gave me headache. So what I need to do is clean it and set it up with my another set of intention and then use it. So the clearance part is the cleansing part is very, very important. So until or unless you're sure about the cleansing part, we should refrain using any second hand crystal. It's my advice.
Okay, now on that note, what are your best modalities for cleansing crystals?
Because I'm an energy healer, so I use it. I mean, I heal that with my intention, but other people they sage that, they put it under the new moon and stuff. Um, Depends on what they do, but they can also put a big selenite and
Okay.
put your other crystals around it. Depends on how you feel inclined towards it. Ask, and if you like intuitively can connect with the crystals, your crystals will guide you how it wants to be cleansed. I mean, you know how some people cleanse it like okay once a month or once after 6 months. I mean, depends on that. I mean, I don't do it on a regular basis as most other people do. I do it when I feel like doing it because
Okay.
crystals they tell me when they need it. So I go by my intuition.
Gotcha. Makes sense. All right. So there are like so many tarot readers out there. Why should somebody come to you for tarot reading?
I think because of the spiritual guidance that I provide with my tarot reading, because a lot of people they come to me, it's like, man, my life is a wreck right now. I understand it's a wreck right now. Even without a tarot reading, you know it's a wreck. So they what they do is they ask for spiritual guidance as well, like how I can pull myself up from this negative situation. So there I give a lot of spiritual guidance. And
Gotcha.
another thing is you'll see with this other top popular tarot readers is they because after a time when they get popular, they get busy with other projects, and there's a reason why they close up their bookings for months, for like 6 months. So you will not get. I mean, you can go to the page, you can go to the link there, you see that not taking any bookings. They have closed it up because they are busy in other projects. So that is the reason why I think I have enough of time so I can give my time to my clients who need their reading.
Beautiful. Awesome. Is there anything else you want to add to this video?
No.
All righty. Well, guys, that is it for this little collection of videos. Thank you.
Chakra Imbalance.
Yes, the Chakra
Chakra
Imbalance.
Imbalance.
The series. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. The series for the Chakra Imbalances. Thank you, Alina, very much for all of this stuff. I know I've learned a ton throughout all of our videos here. For anyone wanting to get in touch with Alina, all of her contact information will be in the show notes below, as well as mine. If you're wanting to come through me, and then I can pass you off to her, however that looks. Please like, share, and subscribe. Your support is always appreciated. And take care, everyone.